So today is a message that I have actually dealt with this a lot in life, but I've learned how to deal with it and how to keep it in its place. And it is one that often plagues people. And something that often plagues people is another P word. And this word is pleasing. Have you ever heard of the word pleasing? Right? Now, when we say pleasing in this context, we're not talking about pleasing to the eye or pleasing to the ear or pleasant to hear. We're talking about people pleasing. We're talking about being victimized and not having victory because we are seeking validation. Have you ever been in this mode where you are seeking validation from others? In your relationships, in your surroundings, in your family, in your friends, even here on social media. If you have, I empathize with you because I've been there myself. And I'm going to tell you what I've learned about validation. This message comes to us by way of our friend Nadia. And Nadia brings a wonderful message on seeking validation. And also, Nada Haddad Coach as well. So shout out to you both for this wonderful message that I was able to see on Nadia Yassin's story. So it says, seeking validation means we abandon ourselves and instead we rely on someone else to judge us and approve of our actions. This makes us vulnerably reliant on how other people respond and approve or disapprove. The only place where self-esteem lives and grows is by judging ourselves by our own ideals and expectations. Let me rewind that last part. The only place where self-esteem lives and grows is by judging ourselves by our own ideals and expectations. Have you ever judged yourself by the ideals and expectations of others? Striving, doing everything you could to live up to other people's expectations. I did this with my parents, always wanting to please them, make them happy, right? Bring them joy, get good grades, be a good boy, be a good student, right? And I seem to always fall short when it came to the approval that I was seeking and the validation that I was searching for and chasing after, because anything that we're chasing after, be it validation, be it money, be it material gain, it insinuates that it is running from you. So how will you ever catch up to it? How will you ever find it? If you're always on the hunt, always on the prowl for something that you feel you do not have inside already. If you are not self-validated, if you do not have that self-esteem and that self-confidence within you and who you are, may you always be swayed by the expectations of others. May you always be turned this way and that by others' judgment of you. This happened to me for so many years. So many years I would do certain things because of others' expectations and for the others' approval. I was a daredevil, right? I would go out and do anything you asked. I remember people would ask me to do crazy things. I was at Disneyland and they would ask me to get out of the ride in the boat and jump on this rowing water and then go over here and scream and yell out to the crowd and say, ah, or take these grapes in my mouth and spit them at this person over there, and or do this dare, or jump all the way on this high altitude, or jump on this tree. And I remember one time I was actually in Charleston with my cousin in Charleston, South Carolina. My cousin Trevor was jumping on these branches, and I was dared to do the same. And do you know that when I tried to swing from this branch, right, I ended up missing this branch, falling on my wrist and breaking my right wrist. Had to have my arm in a sling. So I had a price to pay for seeking validation. I wanted my cousin, my big cuz, to look up to me, or to feel like his little cuz was cool, right? And I ended up paying for it. I broke one of my bones in my right wrist. So what price might we pay when we seek validation, when we seek things externally and don't cultivate that inner joy, inner peace, inner love to the point where we don't need outside validation? Because what I have found is these things actually go to the people who are too busy to be looking for them, who are too busy to be concerned. When we talk about the two impostors are praise and criticism. Beware of these two impostors. When people praise you, you can say, "Oh, thank you, appreciate that." When people criticize you, you can say, "Okay, thanks for the feedback, appreciate that." But you don't have to be swayed by either one. You don't have to let praise make you big-headed and haughty, right? You can still stay humble, but you don't have to let criticism push you down to the level where you feel beneath, where you feel inferior, right? Where you feel like you are not enough, because you are more than enough, my friend. So do not allow your heart to take pleasure in the praises of people, nor be saddened by their condemnation. These things are not really about us. They're reflections. They're people looking at us through their eyes. Has nothing to do with you. It only has to do with them. So when you realize that, you will not be swayed by praise or condemnation. They say it is a proverb that it is not too good to eat much honey, nor is it glorious to seek one's own glory. Asking ourselves why? Why are we doing the things that we're doing? Are we doing it for validation, or are we doing it for another form of fulfillment? What is lighting you up inside? And understanding that if you leave the key to your happiness in someone else's pocket, they will always be responsible when you need to unlock it. Don't leave your power in the hands of someone else. Don't leave your peace in the hands of someone else. Don't leave your joy in the hands of others. Because if you do that, then where will you have to go to find it? I did this in relationships, thinking that it was my responsibility to make my partner happy, my responsibility, right? Seeking validation from each other, doing things for each other's validation. We were slaves. Anything that you must have in life comes to own you. Think about that. So, not good to eat too much honey. And also realizing that if you live for people's acceptance, then you will die from their rejection. When the things that you are striving for and thriving for are in the hands of another person, then when they remove that, what are you left with? If we depend on other people to lift us up, to build us up, they have the same power to break us down. So don't leave that validation in the hands of another. Validate yourself. Appreciate yourself. Celebrate yourself. Congratulate yourself. And not that you shun others' approval, but you don't seek it. You don't need it. You are content without it. If you put validation in the hands of others, you will be obligated to go back to them every time you need it. It's kind of like, what was that guy's name? Tyrone, or some character in Dave Chappelle's show, you know? The guy on the street like, hey, you got any validation? I need some. I need it. Don't be like that. This is not a good state for us to be in. Realize your sovereignty. You are royalty. You are powerful beyond measure. Desperation is a strong cologne, a strong perfume. It has an aroma about it. Let us not seek validation, but let us be validated through our own endeavors, through our own spirit that we have cultivated within us, our own love. So I'll leave here with this wonderful writing. One morning, she woke up different, done with trying to figure out who was with her, against her, or walking down the middle because they didn't have the guts to pick a side. She was done with anything that didn't bring her peace. She realized that opinions were a dime a dozen. Validation was for parking, and loyalty wasn't a word, but a lifestyle. It was this day that her life changed, and not because of a man or a job, but because she realized that life is way too short to leave the key to your happiness in someone else's pocket. My friend, understand that one of the greatest lessons that we can appreciate in life is that there is an amazing thing that can happen whenever you stop seeking approval and validation. The irony is that you find it. So thank you so much for being my friend. Thank you so much for appreciating this message and breathing here in this space with us. I trust that you received a nugget to take with you and that it will touch your life in a way that you can touch someone else. Understanding that you don't have to seek out what you have inside already. When there is no void that validation can fill, you are already full, right? So much love to you. Thank you for being. Yes. Tracy says peace and bliss. Haruka says, yes, I'm aware I'm a people pleaser. Trust me, I fell into the same category and, had to find that self-love through self-acceptance. Nita says, yes, recovering people pleaser. Yeah. People pleasing definitely put me in that mode, where I was afraid of putting myself out there for fear of what they might think. For fear of not being validated, it stopped me from doing so many things in life. That was part of my procrastination when it came to using my gift and following my passion and allowing it to become my purpose. So blessings to you, because this is a topic that I've definitely dealt with and I empathize with you. Nikita says, I always did the same in partnerships and I suffered a lot. Wow. Yeah. A lot of my relationships were based on seeking validation and, clinginess and neediness and all sorts of stuff. It's a cycle, Love, light, and laughter, Blue Lotus. Yes. Yes. Love, light, and laughter to you. Awesome being. So thank you so much for being. Much love. Appreciate you, and definitely hit the bell notification if you haven't already to be notified whenever we do these live sessions. Share this with someone who you feel would gain value from this message and needs to hear it today. Just tag their name below in the video. If you were on the replay, hashtag replay. If you were live, hashtag live. And check out the Open Palm podcast. That is the podcast in the bio for your listening pleasure and your daily inspiration, my friend. Be well. Be blessed, be encouraged, be enthused, be incited, be energetic, and understand that you can have victory over your need to seek validation in life. You never need another's approval of you to know that you are worthy of all there is in this life. Be all that you can be, my friend, and make the rest of your life and the breath of your life the best of your life. Take care, and we will see you again very, very soon. Much love.